One man sits down on his knees and he's mourning the loss of a father he never had. A father bows down and he nourishes the life of a child he'll never have. You must understand, the birds in the morning do not comprehend concepts like happiness or joy. That fleeting half smile of yours, when their chirping reaches your ears, they do not care. Which is why birds are free. They do not care. Of the bad breath of your lover at 6 a.m. after a night of liquor. Of the aching bones crushed by time and sorrow inside the bodies of old people, old of age, old of time, old of rust. The man rises up from his knees to the position of a hero. The man is no longer shackled by the fears, any fear, all the fears. Just one more. What's left behind is the dying figure of the father, indiscernible among the grey of the city blocks, the darker grey of the city roads, cement and oil, the stench of car and rumble, the stench of crying and laughter in the eerie night. Because it is night, such things can only take place at night. One can only abandon their father in the middle of the night, for then the tears do not show. They do not glisten in the powerful glance of the sun. Instead, they wither like the flowers that have not been watered in a long while. Or was it your sister? Your mother? It must have been your brother. You're a man standing upright under a weak streetlight. You've turned your back on everything you've known. Is that your family? Everything you've known has taken the shape and form of little individuals that at some point you can definitely say you've loved. Dearly, painstakingly. You've loved like a hungry and stray dog. Your love is that of the wolves, of the obscure, that of the strange. And so you move on towards a different pole, a different axis, a child alone, a weeping child, unable to carry its own weight. You've marched on towards the blackest ride of life, loneliness. Take me into your arms and cradle my head into them. Whisper tiny prayers into my burnt ears. Whisper violent words into my burnt ears. Whisper drawled out lullabies in foreign tongues. Is that what you as a man crave constantly? Who is this woman? Is it an animal of sorts? Does it have fur, and will it purr? Will it let itself be touched by tainted hands? More than that, is it capable of tenderness and honey-coated kisses in the afternoon? You don't know, but you want, and wanting is your utmost sin, and it sits proudly on that list, the one the governors are sticking high up on the building walls, the one with the murderers and robbers and deceitful jugglers of life. Wanting is what got you running, what got you escaping the small town life your father and your mother gave you. Wanting is what made you shed your old snake skin, a sleek and stronger creature emerging. This woman, she appears in the dull night like a punch in the guts. She appears and her appearance hurts in ways that nothing has ever hurt. One strand of hair flying in all the directions that destiny could ever take, fingers toying gently with a freshly lit cigarette, taken occasionally to the plump of her lips. Her eyes are missing. Excuse me, sir. I can hear you breathing quite well from over there. Lets me know I'm not alone. I'm out here, lost. I'd like to know where I can find Lake Malt. Only after exhaling did she open her mouth to form another sentence, regretting the choice midway. I have a car. I could take you there. No car, no money, no memories, no hope, nothing but the curiosity of one broken man. No knowledge of Lake Malt. There are no lakes around here. This blind woman is heading out of town, shrugging his shoulders to no one in particular. No one seemed to be in the world at that time except him and that lit cigarette in the blind woman's mouth. But the woman was dead, hollow and dead, an open blue cave of dead wonders and dead lovers sleeping quietly across her skin. No, it is just the projection of my jealousy, this man whispered, to no one in particular. No one seemed to be in the world at that time except him and that strand of hair aching to be in his mouth. How long has it been since I offered to take her there? It's been a while. It's not normal, it's not common. People answer fast. People like being quick with strangers. Blind people like being quick with strangers. In fact, I have no clue what blind people like. Would you like that? No. A nod. Moving on. Moving on to matters of the cosmos and matters of the man and man alone. Matters that hold gravity and weight. Matters that seek seriousness, calmness. What is a man to do with himself when he is obliterated by the thought of woman and woman alone, consuming his every fiber with her skinny, bony fingers, hotter than the molten lava of volcanoes, holding the elegance of all the spider legs in the entire jungle, a siren of the city, an ambulance disguised in the shape of a girl, in the shape of apple, flesh and blood, and in the summer, cinnamon. One more nod, one to the ground, one to the left, one to the right, one more to the ground, one more to the left, just one to the back. Another. Hello, hi, wait, do you happen to know where Lake Malt is? A different victim, another woman. I can't hear, I can't fucking hear. Straining, sweating it out a little. Why? Why am I not leaving? I should leave. This town is an abomination. I'm gold. I don't belong with dirt. Finally leaving. A friend used to call this technique balsery, and he'd get horribly drunk whenever it was time to discuss this topic. It was a sensitive topic for him. I suppose I understood why. His knuckles would go red from the tight grip on the bar stool. It was embarrassing how much guilt he felt. I always looked him right in the eye when he would story tell. I knew it hurt. I knew it was necessary. It was balsery. He would say listen a lot. Listen, friend, listen here. And so it began, him leaving his wife and child behind. Or was it the other way around? I've heard the story too many times. It's become a blur of words and voices. Him getting fired for screwing around with the employer's daughter. I shivered at the thought of having such depraved friends, with such malice in their eyes. Every time, he softened my heart by closing his eyes, muting our eye contact for a few seconds, muting my shame, muting his pain, and he'd say, I'm a man. I fuck, I eat and leave. I love it. It's balsery, friend. I got balls, I don't quiver. I wish I could see my wife some more. She has these pigtails. What a girl, isn't she? Grown woman wearing pigtails. I used to pull on them when we were kids. I wish I could pull on them some more. With that, he would open his eyes, and it was my turn to look away. Last time, I spat in his drink and didn't even dare to pay my own. He will never have another friend like me. He will never have anyone. So leaving is balsery. It's how this journey started and how this journey ends. Steps, counting them. I'm counting steps. I've reached 200 or 2000. By 3000 I'll stop thinking of the blind woman. Why was she blind? An overwhelming urge to turn right back around and shake her shoulders violently until she sees what she rejected, sees what could have taken her to goddamn Lake Malt. Quickly, he enters a shop, finds a map, looks up the mysterious lake. It's only 58 miles out of town. The map ends up discarded on the floor of the shop. An ordinary man would laugh at the usage of paper maps in this time and day. But things have happened. Paper is a blessing for the ones that appreciate texture, fingertips, touching in general. I like touching the veins of the earth, the artificial veins humans gave her. I like touching them and prodding and pulling at them and swimming in them and eating in them. I'm heading towards Lake Malt. Many minutes later, many stars shining brighter and ignored harder. Many seconds of sighing later, it's the sweet rumble of the highway that awakens our man from his self-induced malady. Only some more sighs, until he lifts his arm up in the air in a bold manner, the position of a hero. Many more cars later, many more invisible slaps to the face by the increasingly cold air later, many more prayers later. One red truck stops by, lights blinding, ironically blinding him. Climbing up, door open, fat man driving, bald man driving, blind woman perched up in the middle seat, looking defeated. Late night huddled up in the truck of a fat man. She can't see him, but he's fat and bald, and our man is about to be discovered. Oh no! She can't see him either. He sighs, holding up one finger to his mouth, pointing towards it, looking at the driver, shaking his head. No. You mute? This lady here is blind. Whatever in the world is this day? Fat man laughs bubbly. I nod continuously, apologetically. I am sorry for lying. I am not mute. You can't know that. Hop up then. I'm taking this lady to Lake Malt. It's just a few miles down. I got some pen and paper over there. Could help you. Fat man exclaims. I do hop up. I shut the door after me in the loudest possible way. Fat man doesn't remark anything. I cringe at my behavior. I'm shaking wildly. It's so visible, it's so visible. She's so blind. She will never know. Hi. She speaks, and I'm unable to form any thought, unable to think of any way of communicating with her that would not give my voice away, my lie away. I mute. This is my reality now. I mute. I'm afraid you won't be able to say much to you, love. This one's mute. Fat man elbows her lightly. The movement sends her ricocheting closer to my physical existence. I feel like turning into a human raisin, a prune, an enclosed cavity of the most disgusting worms that cannot and must not ever come out and infect such holiness. I am aware of my craziness. I am. Oh gosh, this is so strange. I have never thought about meeting a mute person before. There is essentially no way for us to communicate. She laughs, and it doesn't sound like droplets of nectar falling on a god's tongue, or like a harp played by a fallen angel. It sounds nothing like our man has ever heard, and he's heard things. The pen. I need to find the pen. I'll tell him to drop me off a few miles just before they reach Lake Malt. I'll write down that I'm visiting my Aunt Mary. I have no aunt named Mary. I'll tell him she's sick and needs to see me. I'll lie like I've never lied before. The paper. I need to find the paper as well. I look around. Only cans of soda, cans of meat, cans of fish, cans of corn. No pen, no paper. I wave my arm wildly to the side. Fat Man notices me. His arm reaches down towards the middle part of the car, his greasy shirt touching the clothed legs of the blind woman. She seems to be inching towards him as well. It's nice to feel the presence of other humans sometimes. It is welcoming. Fat Man offers me a pen and paper. I smile and start writing. I think to myself, I will run very fast to catch up with the truck until it reaches Lake Moult, where the Fat Man is supposed to drop off the blind woman. The other cars on the highway are yellowish, painted by the same streetlights as before. Blue looks green, red looks orange. The honking sounds muffled in the truck. The truck smells like old mint leaves, syrup, and corn. The radio is playing a guitar solo. It's surreal, but it's nothing more than another Tuesday, in another in-between location, another fat driver taking a blind woman and a liar to their destinations. Nothing unusual but the heavy rhythm of my heart, our man thinks. I will go to hell. I will go to hell. I will pay. I will pay. He passes the paper to the driver, and the driver reads it quickly. Sorry about your aunt, man. He nods some more, keeps nodding. The driver averts his gaze back to the road.